Welcome to Real Estate Investing Mastery, from zero to advanced wealth creation. Hello, and welcome to this transformative journey into the world of real estate investing. Whether you're here because you dream of financial freedom, want to build long-term wealth, or simply want to explore a new opportunity, you've taken the first step toward unlocking your potential. My name is Chirag, and I'll be your guide on this exciting adventure. Imagine waking up every month to passive income checks from rental properties, watching your investments grow as property values appreciate, and enjoying the peace of mind that comes with financial security. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality for countless successful real estate investors around the world, and today, it can become your reality too. But let's be honest, starting in real estate can feel overwhelming. Maybe you've thought, I don't have enough money to invest. Real estate seems risky. I don't want to lose what little I have. Where do I even begin? There's so much to learn. If any of these thoughts sound familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. Every successful investor started exactly where you are right now. The good news? You don't need millions to get started. In fact, some of the best strategies will require little to no money up front. This course is designed to take you from zero knowledge to advanced expertise in real estate investing. Here's what sets it apart. 1. Storytelling approach. You'll follow relatable stories of everyday people, just like you, who transformed their lives through real estate. Actionable steps. Each module ends with practical exercises to help you apply what you've learned. Proven strategies. Learn from the successes and failures of world-renowned investors like John Jacob Astor, Donald Trump, and Sam Zell. Global appeal. Whether you're in New York, Mumbai, London, or Sydney, these principles work anywhere in the world. By the end of this course, you'll have the tools, confidence, and roadmap to start building your own real estate empire. This course is perfect for beginners. If you've never invested before but are eager to learn, this course will give you a solid foundation. Intermediate investors. If you already own a property or two but want to scale your portfolio, we'll show you how. Advanced investors. If you're looking for cutting-edge strategies to diversify and maximize returns, you'll find plenty of value here. No matter where you're starting from, this course meets you at your level and takes you further. By the time you complete this course, you'll be able to identify profitable markets and properties, use creative financing strategies to buy properties, even if you have no money, manage tenants, negotiate deals, and scale your portfolio, implement advanced strategies like commercial real estate investing and tax optimization. Most importantly, you'll gain the mindset and skills to create lasting wealth and achieve financial freedom. Let me share a quick story about Rahul. Rahul was an ordinary software engineer, working 9 to 5, struggling to make ends meet. He dreamed of a better life, but believed real estate was only for the wealthy. One day, he stumbled upon a simple trick, lease options, and decided to take action. Fast forward 5 years, and Rahul now owns 5 rental properties, generating over $5,000 per month in passive income. His life has completely transformed, all because he took the first step. And guess what? You can do the same. All it takes is the right knowledge, a clear plan, and consistent action. Here's my advice to ensure you succeed. 1. Take notes. Write down key points and ideas as you go through each module. Complete the exercises. These are designed to help you apply what you've learned in real-world scenarios. Ask questions. If anything feels unclear, reach out. I'm here to help. Stay consistent. Real estate investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Small steps today lead to big results tomorrow. Are you ready to change your life? Great! Let's dive into Module 1, where we'll lay the foundation for your real estate journey. Together, we'll uncover why real estate is the ultimate wealth-building tool, and how you can get started, even if you have zero experience or capital. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. So let's take that first step together. Your future self will thank you. Let me tell you about Rahul, a software engineer who worked tirelessly in a 9 to 5 job but felt trapped in the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. He dreamed of financial freedom, of waking up every day knowing his money was working for him, not the other way around. But he thought real estate investing was only for the wealthy. One day, he stumbled upon a simple truth, that anyone can start building wealth with the right knowledge and mindset. Today, Rahul owns 5 rental properties generating over $5,000 per month in passive income. And guess what? You can do the same. What is real estate investing? Real estate investing simply means buying, owning, managing, or selling properties to generate income or build wealth. It's one of the oldest and most reliable ways to create lasting financial security. Whether it's residential homes, commercial spaces, or vacant land, real estate offers countless opportunities to grow your wealth. 2. Why real estate is the best wealth building tool. Here's why real estate stands out. Passive income. Rent checks come in every month, even while you sleep. Appreciation. Property values tend to increase over time, building equity. Tax benefits. Deductions like depreciation and mortgage interest reduce taxable income. Leverage. Use borrowed money, like bank loans, to control assets worth far more than your initial investment. 3. Types of real estate investments. There are several types of real estate investments, and each has its own benefits. Residential properties, single-family homes, duplexes, apartments. Commercial properties, office spaces, retail stores, warehouses. Land, undeveloped property for future use or development. Special purpose properties, hotels, schools, hospitals, etc. Let me share a quick story about John Jacob Astor, one of the richest men in American history. He started by buying undeveloped land in Manhattan when no one thought it had value. Over time, that land became some of the most valuable real estate in the world. His secret? Long-term vision and patience. Today, Manhattan generates billions in revenue annually, and Astor's legacy lives on. If you're worried about needing lots of money to start, don't be. There's a strategy called lease options where you can control a property without owning it. For example, you lease a house for $1,000 per month and sublease it for $1,500/month. This lets you generate cash flow while learning the ropes, all without a huge upfront investment. Here's your first challenge. Research one property in your area that could be a potential deal. Write down its price, location, and estimated rental income. Don't worry about perfection, just take action. Progress starts with small steps. Rahul didn't start with millions, he started with a dream and a willingness to learn. And so can you. Real estate isn't about how much money you have. It's about how smartly you use the resources available to you. Take that first step today, and let's build your financial freedom. Let me tell you about Karan, a graphic designer who dreamed of owning his first property but didn't have enough savings. One day, he discovered the power of leverage. By using a bank loan, he bought a $100,000 property with just $20,000 down. Today, that property generates $1,500 per month in rental income, and Karan is well on his way to building a real estate empire. Leverage simply means using other people's money, or borrowed funds, to invest in real estate. It's one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. When you take out a mortgage, the bank becomes your partner. They provide the majority of the funds, and you repay them over time. This allows you to control properties worth far more than your initial investment. Imagine buying a $200,000 property with a 20% down payment. That's $40,000. If the property appreciates by just 5% in 1 year, its value increases by $10,000. That's a 25% return on your $40,000 investment. Not bad, right? Of course, leverage works both ways. If the market drops, you could lose money. But with proper research and risk management, leverage can be your best friend. Donald Trump built his real estate empire using leverage. He didn't have billions in cash. He borrowed money from banks to buy properties, improved them, and rented or sold them for profits. His key lesson: always focus on cash flow and long-term growth. Before you start hunting for properties, get pre-approved for a mortgage. This strengthens your position as a buyer and shows sellers that you're serious. Plus, it gives you clarity on how much you can afford. Here's your challenge. Use an online mortgage calculator to estimate your monthly payments for a $200,000 property with a 20% down payment. Then, compare it to your current expenses. Can you afford it? Write down your findings. Karan started small, but he used leverage wisely to grow his portfolio. You can do the same. Remember, real estate isn't about how much money you have. It's about how smartly you use the resources available. Meet Priya, a teacher who wanted to invest in real estate but was paralyzed by fear. She thought, what if I make a mistake? What if I lose everything? But then she realized something important. Every successful investor started exactly where she was. Today, Priya owns 3 rental properties and earns $3,000/month in passive income. Her secret? A strong mindset. Fear is natural, it's what keeps us safe, but in investing, fear can also hold you back. Here are some common fears. I don't have enough money. Real estate seems risky. I might lose it all. There's so much to learn, I'll never figure it out. The key is to take small, calculated steps. Start with education, then move to action. For example, instead of jumping into a $500,000 deal, start with a $50,000 property. Build confidence along the way. Real estate is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't expect overnight success. Focus on steady progress and long-term wealth creation. Even small investments can grow into something big over time. Sam Zell, one of the world's most successful investors, started small too. He bought distressed properties during economic downturns when others were afraid. His mindset: opportunities are everywhere, you just need to see them. If you're scared to dive in headfirst, start small. Try wholesaling, find discounted properties and sell the contracts for profit. It's a low-risk way to test the waters while learning the ropes. Here's your task. Grab a notebook and write down your top 3 financial goals. Now, ask yourself, how can real estate help me achieve these goals? Be specific. For example, I want to earn $2,000/month in passive income by renting out 2 properties. Priya didn't let fear stop her, and neither should you. Every expert was once a beginner. Take that first step, no matter how small. With the right mindset and consistent effort, you'll be amazed at what you can. Let me introduce you to Priya, a teacher who wanted to invest in real estate but didn't know where to start. She began by researching neighborhoods, and discovered one area with low property prices but high rental demand. Fast forward 2 years, and Priya owns 3 rental properties in that neighborhood, earning $3,500 per month. Her success started with one simple step: market research. Choosing the right market is as important as choosing the right property. Investing in the wrong location can lead to losses, or worse, no tenants. But investing in a booming market, that's where the magic happens. Here are the key factors to look for. Job growth. Are companies moving into the area? More jobs equals more renters. Population increase. Is the population growing? A growing population means higher demand for housing. Infrastructure development. Are new schools, hospitals, or malls being built? These attract buyers and renters alike. Tools to help you research markets. You don't need to be an expert, just use the right tools. Zillow and Realtor.com for property listings. Mashvisor for rental income analysis. LoopNet and Craigslist for distressed deals. Sam Zell, one of the world's richest investors, built his fortune by buying properties in struggling markets during economic downturn. His secret? He looked for areas with hidden potential. For example, he bought warehouses in Chicago when no one else wanted them, and later sold them for massive profits. Don't just focus on hot markets, look for undervalued neighborhoods with growth potential. For example, if a new metro line is coming to a small town, property values there are likely to rise. Here's your challenge: pick 3 neighborhoods in your city, or any city you're interested in, and research their job growth, population trends, and infrastructure projects. Create a simple spreadsheet comparing these factors. Which neighborhood has the most potential? Priya didn't pick random properties, she picked the right market first. And so can you. Remember, success starts with smart decisions. Take the time to research. Meet Rahul, a software engineer who learned the hard way. He bought his first property without running the numbers, and ended up losing money because the rent didn't cover the mortgage. But then he learned a simple formula, the cap rate, and started analyzing properties like a pro. Today, every property he buys generates steady cash flow. Before you buy, crunch the numbers. Here are the key metrics: cap rate. Capitalization rate measures return on investment. Formula: net operating income/property value, 100. Cash flow: monthly income after expenses, rent minus mortgage, taxes, maintenance. ROI: return on investment: how much profit you'll make compared to your initial investment. Example of cap rate calculation: let's say you're looking at a $200,000 property that generates $20,000/year in rent. After expenses, your net operating income is $15,000. Divide $15,000 by $200,000, that's a 7.5% cap rate. Anything above 7% is considered a good deal. Negotiation tip: always negotiate below market value. For example, if a property is listed for $200,000, offer $180,000. Leave room for negotiation. David Green, author of Buy, Rehab, Rent, Refinance, Repeat, started by buying distressed properties below market value, renovating them, and selling or renting them for profit. His advice: always focus on the numbers, not emotion. The 1% rule says that monthly rent should be at least 1% of the purchase price. For example, if you buy a property for $100,000, the rent should be at least $1,000/month. This ensures positive cash flow. Here's your task: find one property listing online and calculate its cap rate using the formula I shared. Does it meet the 7% benchmark? Write down your findings. Rahul learned the importance of numbers, and so can you. Real estate isn't about gut feelings, it's about facts and figures. Master the math, and you'll master the game. Let me share a cautionary tale about Karan, a graphic designer who jumped into real estate too quickly. He bought a property without inspecting it properly, and later discovered major structural issues. The repairs cost him thousands, but Karan learned from his mistakes, and now he shares his lessons with others. Let's learn from his experience. Common mistake 1. Overpaying for properties. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is overpaying. Always compare similar properties in the area, and never pay above market value. Common mistake 2. Ignoring hidden costs. Remember, buying a property isn't just about the purchase price. Factor in taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. For example, a $100,000 property might have $5,000 in hidden costs. Common mistake 3. Not researching tenant demand. If you can't find tenants, you won't make money. Before you buy, check rental demand in the area. Use tools like Zillow or call local property managers for insights. A young investor once bought a beautiful house in a remote area, but forgot to check tenant demand. The property sat vacant for 6 months, costing him thousands in missed rent. Lesson learned. Always research before you buy. Before you buy, ask yourself, is the property priced below market value? Are there enough tenants in the area? Have I factored in all costs? This checklist will save you from costly mistakes. Here's your challenge. Draft a pre-purchase checklist for evaluating properties. Include factors like price, tenant demand, and hidden costs. Use this checklist for every property you consider. Karen made mistakes, but he turned them into lessons. And so can you. Real estate is a learning process. Stay patient, stay informed, and you'll avoid the traps that catch so many. Let me tell you about Priya, a teacher who wanted to buy her first property but didn't have enough savings. She thought real estate was only for people with cash, but then she discovered traditional financing. With a mortgage, she bought a $200,000 property with just $40,000 down. Today, that property generates $1,500 per month in rental income, and Priya is well on her way to financial freedom. Traditional financing means borrowing money from a bank or lender to buy a property. The bank provides most of the funds, and you repay them over time, usually 15 to 30 years. Types of loans. Here are the most common types of loans. Conventional loans, standard loans for borrowers with good credit. FHA loans, backed by the government, requiring as little as 3.5% down. VA loans, for veterans and active military members, often with $0 down. Down payment requirements. Most banks require a 20% down payment, but some loans allow as little as 3%. For example, an FHA loan lets you buy a $200,000 property with just $7,000 down. Pros and cons of traditional financing. The pros? You can buy properties worth far more than your initial investment. The cons? You'll pay interest over time, and if the market drops, you could lose equity. A young couple once bought their first home using an FHA loan. They put down just 3.5% and rented out a spare room to cover the mortgage. Over time, they built equity, and later sold the house for a $50,000 profit. Their secret? They started small and stayed consistent. Before you start hunting for properties, get pre-approved for a mortgage. This shows sellers you're serious, and gives you clarity on how much you can afford. Here's your challenge. Visit a bank or online lender and apply for pre-approval. Then, calculate how much you'd need for a 3.5% down payment on a $200,000 property. Write down your findings. Priya started with a mortgage, and so can you. Traditional financing is one of the easiest ways to get into real estate. Take that first step, and you'll be amazed at what you can. Meet Rahul, a software engineer who wanted to invest in real estate but had no savings. He thought it was impossible, until he discovered creative financing. Using lease options, he controlled a property without owning it, and later sold it for a $20,000 profit. Today, Rahul owns multiple properties, all thanks to these no-money down strategies. Lease options. A lease option lets you control a property without owning it. You pay a small fee to lease it, and have the option to buy it later. In the meantime, you can rent it out for profit. Seller financing. In seller financing, the seller acts as the bank. Instead of going to a lender, you pay the seller directly over time. This is great for buyers with poor credit, or sellers eager to close a deal. Subject to deals. In a subject to deal, you take over the seller's existing mortgage payments. The property stays in their name, but you control it. This is perfect for distressed sellers who want to avoid foreclosure. Wholesaling. Wholesaling is finding discounted properties and selling the contracts to other investors for a fee. It's a low-risk way to make money while learning the ropes. An investor once bought 5 properties using seller financing. He negotiated deals with owners who were struggling to sell, and paid them directly over time. Within 2 years, he refinanced those properties and pulled out equity to buy even more. His secret? Thinking outside the box. If you're new to creative financing, start with lease option. They're simple, low risk, and don't require much upfront capital. Plus, you can test the waters before committing to ownership. Here's your challenge. Find one property owner willing to discuss lease options or seller financing. Draft a simple proposal, and reach out. What's the worst that can happen? They say no. Rahul proved that you don't need money to start, you just need creativity. These strategies work anywhere in the world. Be bold, take action, and watch your dreams become reality. Let me share a story about Karan, a graphic designer who wanted to buy his first property. He found a house listed for $150,000, but instead of accepting the price, he negotiated it down to $130,000. That $20,000 saved him thousands in interest payments, and taught him the power of negotiation. Negotiation isn't just about saving money, it's about building relationships. A win-win deal benefits both parties, and sets the stage for future success. How to negotiate like a pro. Here are my top tips. Do your homework. Know the market value of the property. Start low, always leave room for negotiation. For example, offer 10 to 15% below asking price. Build rapport. Connect with the seller on a personal level. People like doing business with people they trust. Stay patient, don't rush. Let the seller come to you. Common negotiation tactics. For example, if the seller won't budge on price, negotiate on terms, like closing costs or repairs. Flexibility is key. Donald Trump once said, "You don't have to be the richest guy in the room to make a deal, you just have to be the smartest." He built his empire by focusing on win-win deals, and so can you. After making an offer, stay silent. The first person to speak usually loses. Let the seller think, and respond, first. Here's your task. Practice negotiating a deal using role-play scenarios. Ask a friend to act as the seller, and try to negotiate a $100,000 property down to $90,000. Focus on building rapport and staying patient. Karan learned that negotiation is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. Start small, stay confident, and remember, every dollar you save is a dollar. Meet Priya, a teacher turned real estate investor who owns 3 rental properties. At first, managing tenants felt overwhelming. Late rent payments, maintenance requests, and difficult personalities made her question if real estate was worth it. But then she implemented a system, and today, her properties generate steady cash flow with minimal stress. Let's learn how you can do the same. Your tenants are the backbone of your cash flow. Happy tenants equals consistent rent payments. Problematic tenants equals headaches and lost income. Good management starts with selecting the right people. Screening tenants effectively. Here's how to screen tenants like a pro. Run credit checks to ensure they pay bills on time. Conduct background checks to avoid legal issues. Verify employment and income. Rent should be no more than 30% of their monthly earnings. Legal considerations. Every country has different laws for landlords. For example, lease agreements must clearly outline terms, rent, security deposit, eviction policies. Know your local tenant rights laws to avoid lawsuits. Always document everything in writing. Maintenance tips. Hire reliable contractors for repairs, or learn basic skills yourself. Respond to tenant requests quickly to keep them happy. Happy tenants stay longer, saving you turnover costs. An investor once automated his tenant management process by using software like Buildium or Appfolio. These tools handle rent collection, maintenance requests, and lease renewals automatically. As a result, he scaled from 5 to 20 properties in just 2 years, without losing sleep over tenant issues. If managing tenants feels like too much work, consider hiring a property manager, or using software like Buildium, Appfolio, or Rentec Direct. These tools save time and reduce stress. Here's your challenge. Draft a simple lease agreement template that includes key terms like rent amount, security deposit, and late payment penalties. Research your local tenant laws to ensure compliance. Priya learned that tenant management doesn't have to be stressful, it just takes a good system. Focus on finding great tenants, staying organized, and automating where possible. Your future self will. Let me tell you about Rahul, a software engineer who started with 1 rental property. He used a strategy called BRRR, buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, to recycle his capital and grow his portfolio. In just 3 years, he went from owning 1 property to 5, all while pulling out equity to reinvest. Here's how you can do the same. What is the BRRR method? The BRRR method is a powerful strategy for scaling your portfolio. Buy, purchase a distressed property below market value. Rehab, renovate it to increase its value. Rent, find tenants to generate cash flow. Refinance, pull out equity through a cash-out refinance. Repeat, and use the cash to buy another property, and repeat the process. Example of BRRR in action. Imagine buying a $100,000 property with $20,000 down. After spending $10,000 on renovations, the property is now worth $150,000. You rent it out for $1,500 per month and refinance it for $120,000. Now, you've recouped your initial $30,000 investment, and you still own the property. Benefits of BRRR. This method lets you recycle capital, grow your portfolio faster, and minimize risk. Plus, refinancing reduces your out-of-pocket costs. An investor once bought a dilapidated house for $80,000, spent $20,000 on renovations, and rented it out for $1,200 per month. After refinancing, he pulled out $100,000 in equity and used it to buy 2 more properties. Within 3 years, he owned 10 properties, all thanks to the BRRR method. If you're short on cash for rehabs, partner with private lenders. They'll fund your projects in exchange for interest payments, and you'll still keep most of the profits. Here's your task. Research one distressed property in your area. Estimate rehab costs and calculate potential rent. Could this property qualify for a cash-out refinance? Write down your analysis. Rahul proved that scaling doesn't require millions, it just requires smart strategies. Use the BRRR method to recycle your capital and grow your empire. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your portfolio expand. Meet Karan, a graphic designer who wanted to diversify his investments. He already owned 2 rental properties, but didn't want to deal with tenants anymore. So, he explored alternative options like REITs, real estate investment trusts, and crowdfunding platforms. Today, he earns passive income without the hassle of property management. Let's explore how you can do the same. What are REITs? REITs let you invest in real estate without owning physical properties. They pool money from investors to buy commercial properties like malls, office spaces, and warehouses, and distribute profits as dividends. Crowdfunding platforms. Platforms like Fundrise and Realty Mogul let you invest in real estate projects with as little as $500. You earn returns based on the project's performance, without doing any work. Vacation rentals. Airbnb/VRBO. If you prefer short-term rentals, consider Airbnb or VRBO. These platforms let you rent out properties nightly, often earning more than traditional long-term rentals. Pros and cons of each option. REITs and crowdfunding are hands-off but offer lower returns. Vacation rentals require active management but can generate higher profits. Choose what suits your goals. An investor once diversified into commercial real estate by investing in a REIT. He earned steady dividends without worrying about tenants or maintenance. Later, he reinvested those profits into crowdfunding projects, and doubled his returns within 2 years. If you're new to alternative investments, start with REITs. They're low risk, liquid, and require no hands-on management. Plus, you can invest with as little as $500. Here's your challenge. Allocate a hypothetical $10,000 across 3 different real estate asset classes: REITs, crowdfunding, and vacation rentals. Research platforms like Fundrise, Realty Mogul, and Airbnb to understand how each works. Karan discovered that diversification is key to long-term success. Whether you choose REITs, crowdfunding, or vacation rentals, diversifying reduces risk and increases opportunities. Explore your options, and find what works best. Let me tell you about Rahul, a software engineer who started with residential properties but wanted to take his investments to the next level. He ventured into commercial real estate and bought a small office building. Within 2 years, that property generated $10,000 per month in rental income, far more than his residential rentals. Let's explore how you can unlock big profits with commercial real estate. What is commercial real estate? Commercial real estate includes properties like office spaces, retail stores, warehouses, and industrial buildings. These properties often generate higher returns, but come with higher risks. Types of commercial properties. Here are the most common types: office spaces, rented to businesses or freelancers; retail stores, rented to shops, restaurants, or franchises; warehouses, used for storage or logistics by companies like Amazon; industrial buildings, factories or manufacturing units. Higher returns, higher risks. Commercial properties typically have longer leases, 5 to 10 years, and higher rents, but they also require larger upfront investments and deeper market knowledge. For example, a warehouse might cost $1 million but generate $10,000 per month in rent. How to get started? If you're new to commercial real estate, partner with experienced investors or start small. For example, invest in a crowdfunding platform that focuses on commercial projects. An investor once bought a warehouse in a growing industrial area for $1 million. Over 5 years, he rented it to logistics companies, and eventually sold it for $3 million. His secret? He focused on areas with high demand for industrial space. If commercial real estate feels intimidating, partner with seasoned investors. They'll handle the complexities while you learn the ropes, and share in the profits. Here's your challenge. Research one commercial property in your area, or on a crowdfunding platform like Realty Mogul. Analyze its potential rent, expenses, and ROI. Could this be your next investment? Rahul proved that commercial real estate isn't just for the wealthy, it's for anyone willing to learn and take calculated risks. Start small, stay informed, and watch your profits soar. Meet Priya, a teacher-turned-real estate investor who saved over $20,000 per year in taxes using simple strategies. She learned how to legally reduce her taxable income through depreciation, deductions, and tax-deferred exchanges. Today, she keeps more of her hard-earned money and reinvests it to grow her portfolio. Let's uncover how you can do the same. Depreciation. Depreciation lets you deduct the wear and tear of your property from your taxable income. For example, if you own a $200,000 property, you can deduct about $7,272 per year, assuming a 27-5-year depreciation schedule. 1031 exchange. A 1031 exchange allows you to sell a property and reinvest the proceeds into another without paying capital gains taxes immediately. This is a powerful way to defer taxes and grow your portfolio. Consult a CPA. Real estate taxes can get complicated. Always work with a certified public accountant, CPA, who specializes in real estate to maximize your deductions and stay compliant. Other deductions. Don't forget to deduct expenses like mortgage interest, repairs, maintenance, and property management fees. Every dollar you deduct reduces your taxable income. An investor once owned 5 rental properties worth $1 million. By claiming depreciation, he reduced his taxable income by $36,360 per year and saved over $10,000 in taxes annually. Over 5 years, that's $50,000 saved and reinvested into more properties. Always keep receipts, invoices, and documentation for every expense. This ensures you don't miss out on deductions and are prepared in case of an audit. Here's your task. Meet with a CPA or tax advisor to discuss your current tax strategy. Ask them about depreciation, 1031 exchanges, and other deductions you might be missing. Write down their advice and implement it. Priya learned that taxes don't have to eat into your profits, they can actually work in your favor. Use these strategies to maximize your returns and reinvest your savings into more properties. Small steps today lead to big results. Congratulations, you've completed this course on real estate investing. From understanding the basics to mastering advanced strategies, you've gained the tools and knowledge to build lasting wealth. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. The key is to take consistent action, stay patient, and never stop learning. Here's what you've achieved. You now know how to find profitable markets and evaluate properties. You've learned creative financing strategies, even if you have no money. You understand how to manage tenants, scale your portfolio, and diversify your investments. You've uncovered advanced strategies like commercial real estate and tax optimization. Most importantly, you've built the mindset and confidence to succeed. Imagine where you'll be in 5 years if you apply what you've learned. You could own multiple properties, earn passive income, and achieve financial freedom. All it takes is one small step today. So go ahead, take that step. Your future self will thank you. Before you go, here's my final challenge. Write down one action you'll take this week to move closer to your real estate goals. Whether it's researching a property, meeting a lender, or drafting a lease agreement, start now. Progress happens one step at a time. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm confident that if you stay consistent and apply these principles, you'll achieve incredible success. Feel free to reach out with questions. I'm here to help. Until next time, keep building your empire.